Hey everybody, it's Andy's free guitar chart video lessons here. Welcome my Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, general guitar enthusiasts, people who are interested in learning about alternative guitar techniques that I've developed originally, but you know, there's a lot of music that's available in books and my upbringing. You know, I took trumpet lessons, 3 years of it, so that I learned how to tap my foot and read music and all that. But I've of late become most interested in guitar, and I enjoy it. And I have my guitar here that I have the notes on. And if I put this capo right here on this E note, it becomes just like your guitar at home, where E would be the open. And this is going to be pertinent to this lesson because we're going to be talking about different keys today. So it's not all going to be in the key of C, although it's important to do things in the key of C. That's what I get for trying to play with a drink in my hand, right? I didn't quite make it to the octaves there. That's the key of C, which is all white notes on the piano, and you can learn a lot that way, but you eventually want to learn how to do the other keys for different reasons. And in the guitar, it certainly has to do with not only what key someone's song is in, or it has to do with the arrangements of the keys on the guitar. So right here we could jump right into this, and this is a new a modification I made to chart 129, which is the keys of caged chart. As you know, the keys of caged are C, the key of A, the key of G, the key of E, and the key of D. Okay, so those are the 5 keys in the key of caged, and of course each and every one of those cage shapes can also go up the neck in its own pentatonic inversion. So C would go to the next inversion of A, the next inversion of the G shape C. A will go to the next inversion of the G shaped A. Okay, D will go to the next inversion of the C-shaped D, because it's always spelling caged, right? Over and over again. E goes to the in caged, goes to the next inversion of what? E goes to D in caged, so it would be a D-shaped D right here. So each one of the caged keys has its own pentatonic scale inversion, where you have, say, in the key of C, if we're starting on C, it usually starts on a low E. It'll go, the C-shaped D sounds like this, the A-shaped D sounds like this, the G-shaped C sounds like this, okay, and so on. The E-shaped C sounds like this, alright, and the D-shaped C sounds like this. Okay, so it's just a cage-shaped inversion. So that last thing, the D-shaped C, would be like, I could play it down here a little bit. It would be, sorry, I thought I went into an A shape there. Always want to get to that lower note on the D, because you know you're almost done when you're doing that, when you get into that long interval. So let's look at this. So each one of the keys of caged, now we're talking about the key of C, the key of A, the key of G, the key of E, and the key of D, right? There are other keys, right? There's A flat, and there's F sharp, and there's you know, other major keys. There's D flat, but we're just going to work on the 5 keys of caged, because in each one of those keys all the modal chords exist, and they pretty much go around in a circle, and that would be like kind of from last time's um, lecture, if you will. So in the key of C, in all the different shapes in the key of C, and this fretboard is in the key of C, and the reason not only the colors agree that E would be the green note would be the third of C, it's the numbering that's most important. Okay, so that's what's very important. Now that leads me to wonder about what we were just looking at here, because you could see that this C over here, the numbering here, is 3, 4, 5. But if we look at the C-shaped string, here's your string, 3, 4, 5 generic. Okay, if we look at the C-shaped string, let's say in the key of A, the 3, 4, 5 is the same numbers, but it's no longer in the same place on the fretboard. So in the A fretboard, let's say this becomes the fretnut. Excuse me, this would be the fretnut with the A fretboard. Okay, and we'd have E becoming the fifth. So your low E would become the fifth there. So imagine, this doesn't exist. This over here we're not worried about right now, right? We're just looking at here. Now it's an A fretboard. Hey, there's our guitar. It happens to be tuned to the key of A. Okay, now guess what? It's still the same fretboard. It's not tuned to anything different. Sorry, that's my bad. Because we have an A-shaped A right here. It's the same fretboard. We're just imagining it starting there. And then, therefore, we get the same shapes and the same numbers, but on different notes. That's the important thing. So when we look at the key of G, okay, we're looking at now the low E becoming the sixth of G. Okay, so that would be the sixth of the first G there, which would be the root, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so looking at chart number 129 here. And by the way, it's hot here. I'm sorry I have my shirts hanging up. It's like 86 in this room. So it's pretty warm, but it wasn't this hot all day. Chart number 129 was mostly involved, and we talked about it yesterday, and we want to get to the really exciting subject today of the dots. This is the new thing of how to play the dots. I never knew this because I put all the notes on my guitar. Alright, so what we want to do is look at the generic string assignments. Don't worry about the second two letters in each of them. Just worry about the first letter. C, G, D, A, E. Okay? C is going to be 3, 4, 5 no matter what the key. So if it's in the key of D, so let's just say the rest of the guitar goes away here, and we've got and we're looking at a situation where we're going to play in the key of D. So we just imagine this is now the number scheme for the notes, the same notes that are there. So this is E, but now that low E is going to be the second of a D you can't play. Okay, unless you have a note bender downer or something like that. Anyway, seriously. So looking at the key of D here, alright, I forget what we were talking about, but over here we have this key of D here. This would be the first fret of the key of D, and the first cage shape would start on that outer note, that 3, and then the first fifth, a fifth from the key of D, would be